Trump wins the White House, and we go 3 for 7 in constitutional amendments. We'll talk about it today on the program. Okay, ready? Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm a little sleep deprived like a lot of Americans today because I stayed up to watch the election results come in. Watching Donald Trump get his second term in office. What an awesome night it was for all of us. Yesterday I voted for the last time for Donald Trump. I voted for him for 3 times, and it was a little bit nostalgic, to be honest with you, but it was great to see him win the White House. Kind of a shocker, I think, for a lot of people. Even though your radio activist here predicted that Donald Trump would carry the White House, he would win the White House. I predicted him to win at 281 to 257. I might be a little off on that. The current numbers are, because there's still a couple states that are out there that have not been counted yet, show Donald Trump in the Electoral College at 277 and Kamala Harris at 224. With the states of Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada still outstanding. Still some votes to be counted there. Currently, Michigan shows Trump up 49.8 to 48.2. Nevada shows Trump up 51.5 to 46.8%. And in Arizona, Trump's up 51.9 to 47.2. If all those go to Trump, which it looks like they're going to, we will likely end up with a 312 electoral advantage to 226 for Donald Trump, which is a landslide. In all intents and purposes, we just don't see these types of elections for president in the modern era very often. It's been a long time since we've seen this type of a lopsided outcome. Also, Donald Trump is going to win the popular vote, which he has not done in the last 2 presidential elections. I think the last time that a Republican won was in 2004 with George W. Bush. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was the last time. So he clearly has a mandate to govern the country, and we're all happy here that he won, because it'd be a lot worse with Kamala Harris in office. I took a lot of heat by supporting Trump early, even before the primaries, because a lot of people thought Ron DeSantis would be a better candidate, that Ron DeSantis would give us a better shot to win the White House. I took a lot of heat for supporting Donald Trump because a lot of people thought he wasn't electable. Well, we found out last night he is electable and was electable. So I stood by him. Why? Because I saw him as a bulwark against tyranny. What we've seen in the last several years, since he came down from those golden escalators in Trump Tower in 2015, that the left has been out to take him down. From the moment he took office in 2016, or actually 2017, to today, they've tried to take the man out. I mean, they were trying to, they said they were going to impeach him. There were several impeachments of him, which were bogus. Of course, we see the lawfare, where he has been accused of certain things, and he had 91 indictments against him. He's been found guilty of a few of those. So they've tried to take him down legally. They've tried to take him down with impeachments. And of course, we all know that they tried to take him out with assassination attempts. So all that said, he has prevailed through all of it, and I think probably is stronger because of it. And maybe that's a big reason why he won the presidency last night. So we're glad to see that he's in office. He's going to be able to occupy the White House. I think Donald Trump will be a good president in his second term. A lot of people are concerned about his pro-life position. I understand that. I didn't vote for him because he was more pro-life than other past presidents had been, or candidates per se. But I just understood a couple of things, and that is, first of all, he will likely sign executive orders that would repeal the ones that Joe Biden put into effect regarding abortion, which will lead to babies being saved. He will appoint justices or nominate them to the federal judiciary who are strict constructionists. Donald Trump in 4 years can put up hundreds, possibly, of federal judges, including the U.S. Supreme Court, which is still important for us as pro-life advocates to maintain that majority and keep Roe v. Wade overturned. And then finally, the Department of Justice being used against the political adversaries. We saw that with Joe Biden taking on pro-lifers. Of course, he took on Donald Trump. And right now, as I speak, some of my friends are sitting in prison because of it. And if Kamala Harris got back in, we could just see more of that. So hopefully Donald Trump's going to be pardoning a lot of my friends and others. And we won't see the Department of Justice, the FBI, other instrumentalities of government being used against political enemies. So hopefully that will end now. But it really just gives us a respite, and that is a little bit of window of time to operate here. Whereas I think we would have been digging ourselves out of 4 to 8 years of Kamala Harris, and I'm not sure we would have survived as a nation. Then I want to move on real quickly. I think was even the more important story last night, and that was the constitutional amendments on abortion. I've been talking about those for a couple of years now because we had issue 1 here in Ohio, which unfortunately we did not prevail. We lost 57-43 last year, and now Ohio is a destination state for abortion. But this year, 10 constitutional amendments are on the ballot. I could say really 11 if you include the Nebraska pro-life amendment. And recently I predicted that 2 out of 8 of those would go, that we would defeat 2 of them and lose 8 of them. That was my most recent prediction. I thought Florida, South Dakota would be in our camp. And last night we found out that 3 out of 7. So we actually performed better than I expected. Still not very good, to be honest, and I'll talk about that here. But we had some big wins, the first being in Florida, which is where Created Equal invested most of our time and money over the last several months. We ran ads. We spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a particular ad that performed very well here in Ohio. And then we put boots on the ground. We spent hundreds of hours here in our office here working with the folks there in Florida and other coalitions to put together a door-to-door campaigns. We took a trip down there. I led a team to go canvassing for about a week. So we are very, very involved in Florida. And if you look at the numbers here, starting with, let's just start out with Arizona. Again, we went 3 for 7 out of the 10, and 1 pro-life amendment actually prevailed. So let's look at Arizona with 61.7 yes, 38.3 no. Pretty much a blowout there. That's a high number. Colorado, same, 61.5 to 38.5 in the yes column. Florida, 57.2 to 42.8, almost identical to the Ohio vote. Maryland, which is a lost cause from the start, 74.1 percentage points to 25.9. Again, passing there in Maryland. Missouri was the big disappointment. I thought we had a shot at that one, and it was a slim win by the pro-abortion supporters there. Missouri went 51.7 in the yes column, 48.3 in the no. I think we just had a little more money, a little better organization there. We could have prevailed in Missouri. Montana, 57.2 yes, 42.8, another loss for the pro-life movement. And then in Nebraska, which I think is the interesting story of the night, where there were 2 competing amendments. One was a pro-life amendment that would ban abortion after the first trimester of pregnancy. That's around 12 weeks. And then there was a pro-abortion amendment that would allow abortion up to viability. The pro-abortion amendment lost 48.8 to 51.2 in the no column. So that was a defeat, one I didn't figure we would be able to pull off, but we did. And then the yes side, when it came to the pro-life amendment, won 56.3 to 44.7. That's a pretty big win for us. You might not like the amendment because it doesn't ban abortion altogether from conception, but that is an improvement over what it would have been if the yes on the pro-abortion amendment, which would legalize abortion up to viability, would have passed. So there's something to be said for possibly running a pro-life amendment at the same time that they are running a pro-abortion amendment. We need to look into that and investigate that more fully and see if that might be a way forward in some of these states that will be coming online in 2026 and likely beyond. So, Nebraska was a real highlight of the night for me. It was the third win for the pro life movement with a yes vote on the pro life amendment and the defeat of the pro abortion amendment. Going on, we have Nevada. Another blowout here, 63.2 to 36.8 for the pro abortion side. New York, that's a lost cause. But interesting enough, 61.4% or 61.9% to 38.1. I thought that would have been a lopsided, really lopsided outcome, but 61 isn't even as bad as some of these other states. So, New York, there was no chance we were going to win there. And then South Dakota was the other highlight, the other good result, and that is that the no side was defeated, 59.5 to the no side and 40.5 to the yes side. So that was defeated. That one's a real seeming like almost an outlier in the fact that we were able to defeat that at such a high margin. So what does this tell us? Basically, we have a couple of wins finally post Dobbs. This is the first time since the overturning of Roe versus Wade that the pro-life movement has been able to prevail in these constitutional amendments by defeating a few of them. So we're like 3 for 12 at this point. Not a good record, but at least we got a couple wins, and we needed those because I was afraid that the morale, let alone our ability to fight, would really be hurt if we were to lose all of them. So we won 3 out of 10. Now we're 3 for 12, and that is a good development. We could take some of those lessons learned and hopefully use those in the years to come. 2026, we're looking at Arkansas, Oklahoma, Oregon, and New Jersey more than likely having a constitutional amendments on the ballot. There might be more in the coming days and weeks that we find out about, or months. So we still have a few of these states that are going to be bringing these forward in the next couple of years that we have to be prepared for. And so we will be here at Created Equal. We'll be involving ourselves there as much as we can in trying to get people to help them with their canvassing, their door-to-door efforts, their phone banking, and some of the messaging that was very effective in some of these other states, especially the ads that we ran in Florida and Nebraska. So I can say this. I think that the fact that we did prevail in 3 of these states was in part because of the red wave that Donald Trump, his coattails, gave us. Because Donald Trump won in a landslide for president, because this was a general election year, a presidential year, we benefited from that because there's a different set of voters that come to the polls during a general election and, of course, came out in mass for Donald Trump that did not come out, say, last year in an off year, 2023, in Ohio on issue 1. It's a totally different group of voters. And so we benefited from that this time. In 2026, it's not going to be the same. We're going to have a different set of voters that come out in the off-year elections. And in an election where in the Senate, the Republicans are going to be defending a lot more seats than they did in 2024. So we benefited from the red wave, no doubt. So we have a little time to regroup, learn from what's happened so far here with these constitutional amendments, and get ready to go and hit the ground early in 2025 to be prepared to take on some of these constitutional amendments in 2026. So I guess my summary of all of this is we don't get overconfident. Obviously, you go 3 for 7. That's not a winning evening. If you're a football coach, you don't want to be 3 for 7. In fact, if Ryan Day at Ohio State, which is, the Buckeyes I'm a fan of, I follow them, if he went 3 for 7, he'd get fired. So the fact that we won 3 out of 7 is better than what we were when we were 0 for 7, but certainly it's not something to get overconfident about. In fact, we need to still be searching for why it is that the American people are voting in a majority in the 50s and even low 60s in almost every state in the union to allow or permit abortion up to the very moment of birth, unlimited abortion. That's a problem. We've got to win the case over public opinion on abortion. That's what we do here at Created Equal. That's why we use abortion victim photography and video. We got to make it the abortion the main thing because that's what this is all about. We can win some arguments on the margins when it comes to parental rights or health and safety restrictions when it comes to abortion, but we've got to win the debate over abortion itself. And so Created Equal is particularly positioned well to be able to do that, to make that case to the American people. And so, friends, we're encouraged today. Donald Trump wins the White House. He's probably going to be at 312 to, what was that number? 312 to 226 when it's all said and done. That's an electoral landslide. He will win the popular vote and we'll have a mandate to govern in early 2025. And so we've got a little respite here. We got a little window, a little breathing room, if you will, to regroup and go back at it. Let's prevail in public opinion and let's start winning some of these constitutional amendments. So thanks for supporting us. If you gave to Created Equal, I appreciate it very much. It went to the states that mattered the most, the ones that we won, Florida, Nebraska, South Dakota. Those are the ones we were most invested in. So we appreciate it very much. But the work is yet to be completed. We got a lot of work to do. And as we were in issue 1, we took a little bit of a break, but we were right back at it. And we'll be right back at it soon enough because we cannot take a break on this because the other side will not be either. So you've been listening to your radio activists here on the Mark Harrington Show. We'll see you next time. God bless you. God bless America. And remember, America, to bless God.
You've been listening to Mark Harrington, your radio activist. For more information on how to make a difference for the cause of life, liberty, and justice, go to createdequal.org. To follow Mark, go to markharringtonshow.com. Be sure to tune in next time for your marching orders in the culture war.